Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is how I sold over 63,000 in just 4 weeks, just simply reselling everyday items on Amazon. And this is my live dashboard. I'm gonna refresh this for you guys so you know that it's 100% authentic. You can see here, if I hit refresh, you can see here that the number is not Photoshop, nothing like that. Now, in this video, I'm gonna be showing you why this business works, how it works, and I'm gonna be showing you guys the easy way to get started into this business, even if you don't have a ton of money to get started, or you're not just the most tech savvy, you're not sure if you can do this. I'm gonna be showing you the easiest way to get started into things, okay? And the final thing I'm gonna be sharing is how to actually scale this business and turn it into something where you are the business owner, not just self-employed on a little side hustle, okay? And what I'm gonna be sharing is just kind of the strategy that I use to pretty much automate a lot of my business. The way my Amazon business is run now, I really don't take a lot of time to do a lot of the tasks because I've actually been able to outsource stuff, which we're gonna get into, don't worry. But just so you know, this is a business that can be scaled and you can turn it into something that is somewhat passive. I don't like to throw passive income out there, but you can turn it into something that is somewhat passive. So let's first talk about what this business is not, okay? This is not drop shipping, and this is not, selling products from China or AliExpress, anything like that. That's another business model on Amazon called private label. I don't do any of that. I know people that have done well with that, but it's a super hard business to get started into because it requires a lot of money to, get started in that. And also, I just don't know a ton when it comes to getting started with that. So that's why I'm not going to be talking about that. Now, why does this work? Well, for starters, I want to let you know that the average new Amazon seller, the average, okay, makes around 30,000 in annual profit. New Amazon sellers, okay? And that is the average, okay? I want you to understand that because everyone's always curious, like, oh, there's so many people selling on Amazon, there's so many people doing this, and they're always going to be a little bit scared and skeptical of saturation. What I want everyone to understand is if new sellers are averaging around 30,000 in profits, I mean, obviously it's kind of a no-brainer decision. But the other thing you guys want to understand is just there's always going to be more buyers than sellers in any marketplace. If you can think about a pizza place, why do people still open pizza businesses when there's so many that already exist, right? There'll always be people that want to buy and spend money on getting pizza versus, doing it themselves. And that's kind of the same thing with Amazon. Amazon is a company that will continue to grow. It'll continue to have more buyers, and it will need sellers to meet that demand. So that's where people like us can come in. So the easiest way to really jump into things and find products to actually go ahead and resell and just start off with this business is going to be using two softwares. Okay, so you need two softwares to run really a seven-figure a year business. Okay, I'm going to be showing you the two softwares is going to be Scan Profit and Keepa. Okay, these are both of the tools that you're going to need to get started. Now, Scan Profit is going to be your most important tool because this is going to be how you're actually going to find the products. You're going to make sure they're actually profitable, and it's going to show you how well they actually sell. Now, Keepa, on the other hand, will help you with just kind of the consistency of the price, just to make sure you're not going to buy, a bad product or anything like that. That's what's good for Keepa. Okay, so it'll help you with that. Now, let's talk about the strategy for finding a product. Okay, I'll have these linked in the description so you can go ahead and get both of these as well. The best way to find a product, in my opinion, is to use Scan Profit. And what you're going to do is you can actually use Scan Profit to look at what other people are selling. So obviously, if you guys can imagine just taking kind of like the top Amazon sellers and basically just stealing all the products that they're already selling. That's essentially what this strategy is. Like, we're not really going to come up with anything new. We're kind of just copying what other people are already doing, and it's working well for them. That's essentially all this strategy is. And so if we scroll down here on the Scan Profit Chrome extension, we will hit this tab called the Offers tab, okay? So this is where the other sellers that are selling the current product that you're on, right? You need to be on a product. You can't just be on the Amazon homepage. You need to be on a product. And what you can do is we can hover over these people and you can see their name and how many reviews they have. So you can see this guy, Safe Shop Enterprise, he has 50 reviews. This person, Ikai Store, might be saying that wrong, don't know, he has 9 reviews. These are all sellers that are selling this product. And so anyone that's selling this product might have, other profitable items in their store, right? And so I want you guys to understand that the biggest piece of advice I'm going to give with this strategy is that you don't want to just willy-nilly pick any product and start looking at the sellers, okay? You really do want to pick a good starting product in order to do this strategy. Because if you just try picking random products and the product's not actually that good, guess what? The stores that you look at probably won't have any good products, okay? So if you're for watching this and you're like, Eric, I don't have a good product, what do I use? Take this product. I encourage you to use this product because I know that this is a good product, and I can almost guarantee you that if you look through every seller on this listing and looked at every product that they're selling, you will 100% guaranteed find a profitable item to sell. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys kind of how to actually go ahead and find a product, okay? Enough yip yap. All right, let me show you guys how it's done. So I would recommend you guys look at people with less than 30 reviews. So like this guy, I just opened him because he had 9 reviews. We could open up this guy too. He had 2 reviews. I like to look at smaller people because when you look at smaller sellers, you got to remember someone that's super small actually might have a lot of good opportunity too because, since they're new, the products they're finding are probably going to be easier for us to find, right? Because they don't have a ton of experience yet, just like us. And so it's just going to be easier for us to look at the smaller sellers. And that's kind of what I do. Now, looking at this screen, it's going to be a little confusing, so I'm going to explain it. Essentially, we've just opened up this guy's store. He has 21 ASINs, which basically just means 21 products. That's essentially what that means. He has 21 products in his store. It looks like he sells a lot of Lego, which I've never really sold. I'm not a big fan of. And to be honest, a lot of this stuff doesn't actually look that great. If I'm going to be honest, I don't really like this guy's store. The max cost on these, some of them are negative. They're not really selling that well. I'm not a really big fan of this store. We can see Amazon is on this listing. Yeah, I don't really like this store. So we're actually going to move on from this store and we'll look at this one instead. And then kind of what I like to look for over here on the right side. So this is what Keepa is. And again, it's just kind of like the price consistency. So I kind of like it because what I'm looking for in here is somewhat of a consistent price. This price does look consistent, but it's very cheap product, right? Only $16. It's kind of cheap. I would recommend, if you guys want to make the most money possible, if you guys focus on items that are like $50 to $100 in cost or like sale, you'll make a lot more money because, with a product like this cheap, if you're making $2, $3 profit a unit, that's all right. But when you start selling $100 items, if you can make $15, $20 profit a unit, that's a lot better. I'd rather sell, that than try to sell a bunch of, little cheapy stuff. So that's kind of what I try to do is I try to focus on, more expensive items. Let's go ahead and take a look at this t-shirt. I'll just kind of show you guys what the strategy is in terms of finding products. So essentially you're going to use the app. You're going to open up the product. You can just basically hit this Amazon button. You can open this product up and then boom. Now we're on the product. We can see our max cost is around $17.59. That's kind of what we're trying to find this product for. And so now we just hit the Google search button and it's going to Google the product for us and give us some different prices. So this one is $22, but this one is $28. So I wonder what this is the kid size. That will definitely do it right there. Let's look at this one again. So this is the men's size, and we are looking for a men's size large. So large, and this is $22.95. and we need to find this for $17.59. So obviously if we put $22.95, we're not making profit on this one. Okay, so what we would do now is you don't necessarily want to give up on the product right away. What I would do is add this product to our cart, and then I would actually search for a coupon. Okay, that is how we really make this better. Okay, so the best way to look for coupons is basically grabbing the website name. So for this one, it's Fuel for Fans. So grab the website name, go into a new tab and search coupon. Okay, and then we can kind of open up these different sites and try out their coupons. Okay, so let's try this one, Pit Lane 25. That one worked. All right, let's try and see if we can find a better one, because even with, I think it was giving us a 10% discount, but even with a 10%, we need a little bit more than that. Let's try this, deal 20. Coupon cannot be added to your cart. Okay. What's this one? Is this the same thing as the other coupon code? You got to be careful. These guys love to throw pop-ups on you. Yeah, like these guys are throwing way too many pop-ups. So you got to be very careful with some of these sites. They try to throw up a lot of pop-ups. Let's see, get up to 100 off. So it looks like 10% is really the best we can do. It's better than nothing, right? So our buy cost is about $20.60 or $21 actually, because there is shipping. So it'd be about $21 for this product. So even at that cost, we still wouldn't be, we're making $1 profit. It's something, but it's not enough, right? We want to make a lot more than that. We want to make $5 to $8 profit a unit on something like this. So we're going to move on from this item, and you pretty much just do that exact process, and you basically just search enough products until you find one. And it takes some time to learn this skill. I've been doing this for well over 3 years, so I've gotten a lot better at this skill and doing this. But when you're brand new, it's going to feel tough and it's going to feel challenging. But like any business, any new business, any new venture, it's going to feel a little bit struggling and tough at the start. So just embrace it, embrace the struggles, and keep pushing through it, because eventually you'll build up kind of a catalog like I have, where you pretty much have a bunch of replenishable profitable items that you can resell. So like whenever you run out of inventory, you can just replenish and make more money. Or you can even do what I do, where we can talk more about the scaling and how you can actually offload this whole sourcing process to other people. Okay, I'm going to show the process one more time, and then we'll get into the fun stuff. We'll talk about scaling and kind of the strategy you guys can use if you want to scale things up. Our storefronts aren't looking the best right now, in my opinion. I'm not loving these. We could take a look at this one. Let's just give this one a go. Again, it's super cheap. I would suggest trying to find more expensive items. Let's see here. This is $9.99 here, $8.69 here. Okay. Let's see, what sizes do we got here? So we are looking for the 16 ounce. So let's input. Okay, so if you get 12 plus. Okay, so let's actually point this out for everybody. So if you go for the 12 plus option, you get a way cheaper price. Very, very important to note, because we want to look for these discount codes and deals. It's gonna be difficult to find stuff profitable at just retail price. So if you can find stuff like that, where it's like a quantity discount and then maybe a coupon on top of that, that's how you make your money, is combining all these different deals that you can use. And so let's see if we can actually go ahead and get a promo code. Let's look up Pet Edge. Remember, same process as last time. We grab the website name, not the brand name of the product you're looking at, but the website name. So for this one, it's Pet Edge, and then we type coupon, and then boom, we're gonna get a bunch of different coupon websites. and we're just gonna kind of mess around with these until we find one that works. Sometimes you'll see some places where the deal is just way too big, right? If you see something that says it's 50% off, I mean, they're probably lying. All right, let's just put it that way. They're probably lying to you. Let's see this one. This one's 10%. Let's give this a whirl. Okay, it worked. Perfect. All right, so, wait, did it work? That's interesting. It said it worked, but like I don't actually see a difference. Let's just do this. All right, very interesting. It said the coupon worked, but I don't know if it actually did make a difference. Let's just see here. 208.56 divided by 24. Yeah, it didn't make a difference. All right. But either way, maybe you would just call this company and see if they can fix that. But if we get the 10% off, so if we were able to get the 10% off for this, it would make our buy cost for this $7.61. Okay. I think that's what it said, right? Something around there. And so if we can input that, we're at least doing better with ROI. We have a 33% ROI. I would recommend shooting for roughly a 30 to 40% ROI is what you kind of want to shoot for. Now, the good news is this product's actually selling for a little bit more, selling for $19.67. So if we sell it at that price, we're making that 44% ROI, and we're making over $3.30 profit. So nothing crazy, right? $3 profit's nothing super high for this item, but obviously, our cost here is only $7. So for anyone here watching this, and you're like, hey, do I need a ton of money to start this? No, you don't need thousands and thousands of dollars. I would recommend having about $1,000 maybe to start this, just to make things a little bit easier. But you don't need a ton of money, right? You could kind of get started with something, a smaller amount, and just kind of build your way up, or get business funding, or kind of get, if you can get some extra funding from like a job and whatnot, it's just going to make your life a lot easier. But that's kind of how you scale up this business, okay? And that is how you guys are going to do this, and pretty much just test products and find products by looking at what other people are selling. So obviously, we looked at 2 products, and both of them, we got balloons coming up, both of them were technically profitable. I mean, this one would be the only one I would probably buy. The t-shirt, I mean, for $1 profit, I ain't buying that. That's not worth my time. But for this, definitely worth my time, right? Spend $7, make $3.30 back. You're taking that all day, right? That's better than any stocks, anything like that. And the good thing about this is once you make profit, you can reinvest your profit and just make more, reinvesting into more inventory. You can replenish this stuff, and it's super fun once you kind of start getting into things. So that is the strategy that I would recommend everyone focus on and really dial in on, because that is the best strategy to get scaling when you're first kind of figuring things out. Let's talk about how to scale this business, okay? Because there is a way where you can actually turn this into something automated like I have, where I pretty much have a VA finding all of my products, I have a VA purchasing all my products, and I also use a third-party prep center, okay? Basically, they will actually ship my products into Amazon for me. So I'm going to show you guys what I mean, and I'll break it down a little bit more. All right, so let's talk about a system to actually automate the business. All right, this is kind of the system you guys want to use. I'm going to briefly explain this. If you guys want to learn about how to kind of set this up a little bit more in depth, I have made videos on this in the past, so I will link that in the description. But essentially, you want to get a sourcing virtual assistant. Okay, so this is someone that is going to help you source products. So basically what we were just doing, you can basically hire someone part-time for like $3 to $5 an hour to do that, and basically spit out 5 to 6 leads every single day. And then you basically go ahead and buy those. You could either hire an ordering virtual assistant for that, or you could do it yourself. If you want to make things fully automated like I have, you will need to get someone to do it for you. But obviously that's it's a big step, right? My VAs have my credit card information. It's something where, you don't have to jump into that right away. But there is easier ways to do that, right? You can set limits and stuff like that to make it a little bit easier. And so once they've basically found the products, now they're going to order the products. And the thing that you want to do is you want to have the VA order the products to a prep center, okay? And for those guys that don't know what a prep center is a third-party, address logistics center that will basically receive items for you. So you can basically ship items to them. They'll receive it, they'll label it up, package it up, and then send it to Amazon's warehouse for you, okay? And so this basically allows you to not have to prep products 24/7 or go to the post office or do anything like that. And it gives you location freedom because you can do this from anywhere in the world. I live in Canada, but sell in the United States using a prep center. I'm going to be able to travel while still making money because my prep center is going to be doing all the prepping and the shipping for me. And then, of course, once Amazon has your inventory, they take care of all the fulfillment. So that's why I love the prep center strategy so much. And the other bonus to this is you can actually have a prep center. You won't have to pay sales tax because you can get a prep center in a sales tax free state. So there's so many benefits using a prep center. I could go on and on. I started off by using a prep center. You don't have to. You could prep stuff and do the prepping yourself, but I would suggest using a prep center, especially if you're not the most tech savvy and you don't want to have to buy any shipping supplies. You can literally just start off with a prep center and avoid all of that, okay? And then from there, you basically just want to restock on the inventory that actually performs well. So once you source the products, order it, it goes to a prep center, you sell, restock the good inventory, and then obviously you're going to be restocking as well as you're going to be buying that new inventory that the VAs are continuing to source. So pretty much month over month, you're going to be adding new products to your store and testing new products. And then whatever products did well from the test batch, you restock on, as well as continue to test new products and kind of scale up that way. That's pretty much what I've been doing, and that's pretty much the best way to scale up this business as well as make it into something that is pretty hands-off. I have a little bonus for you guys here because you stayed till the end. Obviously, this is something you guys want to do. So if you want to learn a little bit more about kind of doing this, I'm putting a link below for a free training event that I'm going to be hosting. It's completely live. I'm going to be basically walking through this, but a lot more and just, breaking it down so it's super easy for you to understand and basically just helps you learn everything a lot easier. So that's going to be completely live. And at the end, I'll be doing a Q&A session so you guys can ask me all of your questions and I'll help you with whatever things you guys are struggling with. Also, for those of you guys that are like, hey, I kind of want to fast track this a little bit quicker. I want to, be able to travel or do whatever it is you want to do. You can actually apply to work with me one-on-one and have me basically kind of hold your hand through, implementing this system that I just shared, as well as just helping you with, how to find more products, how to show you how to sell, any product or brand that you want, and just learning how to scale this business a little bit more. If you guys want to, apply to do that, apply to work with me one-to-one, I will put the link in the description for that, as well as make sure you register for that free training because I do not host them often. So you want to make sure you can get in there and attend that event. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everybody.